just can't take a trip at the moment. Obviously, the other bloke's injured and then go up in the last play of the showdown, that's his ankle and out for 8 weeks.
Yeah, that's footy, mate. Can't do much about that, unfortunately, for Gov. So, yeah, he's going to miss a few weeks, but another man will step up.
How do you replace him in the forward line?
Oh, we've got a few options in there. We can go a bit smaller. We've got Fogarty, who didn't play last week, so there's a few options.
Is it always Fogarty, if you bring in at all? Do you ever look at any left field options? Like you always wonder if Deere will ever play a senior game?
We'll consider all that at match committee.
How handy is Andy Ottens' versatility right about now?
Yeah, well, he's got the flex, as we know from last year. He's able to play down forward. So, as I said, we'll have a look at obviously the Bulldogs coming up Friday night, and historically they played slightly smaller in the forward line. So, we'll have a look at what the best sort of balance will be for our forwards and our backs.
The Bulldogs threw Bontempelli forward with a fair bit of success. How do you match up on a tricky kind of guy like that?
Yeah, well, look, he's a quality player, isn't he? He plays as a midfielder who can generate ball, but also pushing forward. He's a big man down there as well. He's 6'3", I think. So, we'll have some plans for that, but it's clearly about stopping supply.
Don't you say that's footy relating to Mitch, but did you have to have a chuckle or roll your eyes at another one going down?
Not really.
Don't care?
No, it's not that I don't care. Clearly, I care about our players, and I care about.
What was your reaction when you heard it?
Well, it was just. it was unfortunate, isn't it? We're 20 seconds to go at the end of the game, and that's footy. That happens. We play a combative, injurious game. Is it ideal? No, it's not. But I'm not sure what we can do about it. I'm going to focus on the guys who are available, not those who aren't at this point.
Feels like you're treading water a bit, though.
What's that?
Like you're treading water a bit this season.
No, not really. Not really. I mean, we've had some setbacks in terms of from an availability viewpoint. But we've also created opportunity for guys, and we've seen some guys really step forward. So, the worm will turn. I mean, I'm sitting here, as I said to you a few weeks ago, I've got 5 guys coming back this week. That's the start of it for me. Hartigan, Gibson, Keith will come back, Knight will come back. There's one other. Hampton will come back.
All the same, you think?
We'll see. We'll see what it looks like from a selection viewpoint. But, they're back and available. And so I expect, in 3 weeks' time, we might end up with 40 guys available, at which point we're dealing with a different scenario. That's just life. It's not, you don't get a linear curve like that the whole time and everything the way you ideally want it. We need to be able to adapt and adjust, and so far we have, and we'll continue to.
Is Fogarty the logical long-term replacement for the government?
Yeah, well, look, he's a young guy that's come in and showed some capacity at the level, and it'll just be a question of how that looks, as I said, from our balance and what we're looking for, and whether it's worth continuing to give him opportunities and see if he can progress. He's shown bits in games, and he's got obviously some growing to do and some developing, which we know, coming in as a first-year player, and it's not easy coming as a first-year forward. So we'll weigh that up.
Is he like for like though?
Well, from a size viewpoint, he's probably the most similar size. It's really just a question of which way we want to go.
Other injuries this week, obviously. Where's Tex out? Obviously, Sam said he's baby, but how's he back?
Yeah, well, look, I haven't got much more to add, guys. We sort of put out a release yesterday afternoon late. It's sort of covered all the injury stuff, so I haven't got any more information than what was presented yesterday, to be honest.
Will you be amused to be the reports on Crouch that they're way off the mark about not playing again this season?
As I say, I think Matt dealt with that yesterday afternoon.
With team balance, how many is too many to bring in this week, fresh from injury? Can you bring in all 5, or would it more likely?
We won't bring in all 5. I mean, Alex and Sam Gibson haven't played all year, so they'll play Sandful. And Curtly Hampton probably needs to play Sandful as well, to be honest. And he's been a bit in and out and interrupted through some the groin problems. So we'd expect those guys will need some runs before they look at them at the AFL level.
How do you rate the Western Bulldogs?
Yeah, their last 5 weeks has been very good. They had a slow start to the season, but really their last 5, I think 6, they've won. 5, they've won 4 of them, and they got beaten by Sydney just late in the game. So a quality midfield, really strong clearance side, number 1 for clearances in the comp, and they play that sort of style, which is is high energy. So another really good challenge for us.
And Jack McRae, who's also been in great form.
Yep, yeah, 47 last week. He'll do that. So yeah, but he's one of a number of guys. It's not just going to be about McRae. I mean, you go in there. There's Wallace and there's Bontempelli. You mentioned McLean's been in really good form. So they've got a number of guys, and they're really flexible as to who they can put through their midfield. So it's a good opportunity for us.
You generally don't tag opposition midfielders. Someone like McRae's coming off, not just that 47, but obviously a really good mark.
Yep.
Do you think about putting someone on?
Yeah, we'll whale that up. As I said, it hasn't historically been the way we've played. we'll have a look at what the ripple is for that. The challenge you've got, obviously, against a side like the Bulldogs in that space is that they'll go mid, forward, wing. You just got to make sure that you've got clear plans around that as to what happens when those guys, if you do run with someone, where they go. So, but that's in our kit bag. It'll just be a matter of whether that's the way we best think we can set the game up and win the game.
With injuries, do you think there's a tipping point in that you can plug so many gaps for so long that eventually, without your best players, the demand could be a bit too much?
Don't know. Maybe we'll find out. I mean, at the moment, I'm really comfortable with.
How do you assess
I'm comfortable where we're at in terms of what we've been able to produce in the circumstances of having a few of our better players not available. But I'm not sure. Again, I don't sit at night and sort of project what it would look like. Ideal world, I think every coach would say would want their best players available. That's not the situation we're presented with. So I don't focus on the guys who aren't playing. I focus on the guys who are going to play and how we can get them to play consistently well at the level and compete and try and win games of footy. That's the job we're in.
What's been the message after, obviously, a very tough showdown? What's the way it finished? What's been the message at the start of the week?
Well, we reviewed the game and we obviously looked at the components of the game, and our feeling, or my feeling overall, was that we played. At first half was pretty solid. It was a pretty even arm wrestle, and we were well. We were in front of the game and moving the ball pretty well, and we had a bad period in the third quarter, which was pretty costly. So we had a conversation around that, and then at the end of it, we went from being almost out of it to winning it to then losing it, and that's footy. There was some things at the end we review there, and it's all part of just continuing to learn and develop.
What do you think caused that third term lapse in terms of all being able to add on so many goals?
Yeah, it was late in the quarter, and we clearly lost field position off the back of losing clearances and contests, and credit to Port, they kept going and they were tougher for longer in that little period. To our guys' credit, I was really pleased with the fact that in the last quarter we got back into the arm wrestle, and even to the point where with 4 minutes to go, we technically were probably was going to make it hard, but they found a way to get back in front, which is a really positive sign because we persevered when the game necessarily wasn't flying our way. So there's some real positives out of that, and unfortunately we couldn't close it out.
What will Rory Sloane's role be on match day now? So he was in the box on the weekend?
Yeah, he's been in the box a couple of times, and it's good for our leaders to come into the box. It sort of gives them an experience of what we're seeing, how we're seeing the game, and if you talk to Rory, he's learning about the game. He's learning about the ebbs and flows of a game, which is only going to be helpful, and that's why I think it's great having our leaders come in the box when they're not playing. So whether he's in there this week, we'll see. Hopefully he's not in there for too much longer.
He said he's picked up on a couple of trends when he's in there, and he tends to try and influence the game a little bit there. Does he tap you on the shoulder and say, put him in?
No, he's not so much tapping on the shoulder saying put him here. He's looking at the game in a different way when you're not playing, obviously, and as a player and as a leader of the footy club, he's a good resource for me to ask, is he seeing anything? And again, it's useful for him because he can go and talk to the midfielders, for instance, primarily the area he looks at, and give them feedback, which is, again, part of his learning.
What does his week look like? As we spoke last week after the injury before the showdown, what does his week look like to this point?
Oh, it's pretty normal. I mean, he's just, nothing's really changed. Oh, he's at the moment, he's probably going, I think he's returning back to doing some light running later this week, so, we'll just see how, as we said last week, we'll see how he builds up.
What do you need?
There's been some talk about confusion with the tribunal and the match review panel. Do you have any thoughts on that? Obviously, Hawkins got a week for touching umpire, the Kerno's got off.
Yeah, I haven't really followed it, to be honest. I saw the Hawkins one, and I think players understand that touching umpires is not what we want to see in the game. But I'm assuming there were different circumstances and different reasons why they went the way they did with the other guys not getting suspended. So, look, I sort of try and control what I can control, which is our footy program and our guys and getting ourselves ready for the Bulldogs.
How much of the session does Tax need to do now to prove his fitness?
I expect he'll train fully, so he should be fine.